Yo, what is up? I'm back. I'm back. I think I can say like I'm actually officially back, like this day, anyways. Why am I saying that? It's because they finally released Dragon Ball Genshin Squadra, a game that I've been very excited to play for launch. Anyways, this game literally like came out like 2 hours ago, and I've been playing it nonstop. I just got done recording like tons of videos for a lot of different characters because they're so fun. And yeah, to break immersion for this video, this immersion, I can't speak. To break immersion for this video, it's just gonna be me talking over some gameplay, over my gameplay. As you're seeing right now, this tutorial of the game, just telling you really how to play, what buttons are, what to really expect. But I want to like take this opportunity for the first video, anyways, because I know like I'm probably not gonna do this for like every video, but I'll like occasionally like probably say something that should be, said. But this video is mainly gonna be me just talking, so if you're not into that, click a different video. It's gonna be a yada yap for me, but I just really want this video to be more for information about this game for new players. The animations are sick, by the way. Did I mention that? Did I mention this game is good? But I just want this to be a more informational video for new players coming into this game, because maybe you didn't play the beta, or maybe you never heard of this game, and you maybe this game piques an interest into you, or maybe this is your cup of tea of games you like to play, but you don't know like what to do or like how to play, So basically, I'm just here to do that. Just here to tell you stuff. So basically, this game isn't too crazy. I feel like this game throws a lot at you, but there's only like a couple of stuff you really need to pay attention to play this game, in order to like feel like I understand this now. I can essentially. But yeah, it's like it's really not that hard of a game. There may be a lot of stuff going on, but you only need to focus on like first things on your side of the game. But as you can see right now, we're doing Genshin Burst, and this is a max Genshin Burst using ultimate. The middle of the bottom, at the bottom of the screen, your ultimate essentially, and it will consume it. It won't stay usually. Actually, no, the ultimate will stay. Some of the attacks won't. The attacks do less damage, but they do. You can go quicker, so you can do multiple at a time. The ultimate does a big chunk of damage, but downside is it takes a while. Now everybody will start at level 1, and every skill that you have at the bottom screen will be locked. And the only way to unlock abilities is to progressively gain levels. How do you gain levels? You fight NPCs to gain XP. You gain a level to go to 1 to 2, and you only can unlock one level. Now this level system may be confusing, but there's a way to toggle it all on auto. So like as you're fighting, you're already like unlocking stuff, and you don't have to worry about it really. I think in the beginner it's fine to do that. You don't really have to worry about which stuff you're getting first. But boom, we started the game. You pick your player, and boom, level 1. Now what you really want to do is choose which side are you going, top or bottom. It will tell you on the character that you play where it's recommended, but you can really go wherever you really want. Now all you're really trying to do here is the grind. This is the grind phase, essentially the farm stage. You're just finding bots to try to get low, to increase your level as fast as possible. You're trying to get through these people as fast as possible, because your opponent is doing the exact same thing. You're trying to get here as fast as possible, be the first person to get here. And to be honest, if you can even be quicker, you can probably even fight Supreme Kai on top, because he gives the most amount of XP out of these NPCs. And another gimmick about this game is if you attack first, meaning you don't get hit or neither your teammates get hit, and that means the other two who are not on the screen right now, if you get to land the first attack, Zeno for your lane gets to attack. As you can see, Zeno's floating around. Now what does that mean exactly? Why is Zeno here? Zeno brings down the shield for your enemy and even in your own God of Destruction, so you can go in there and do damage. I died embarrassingly. So you can go and do damage. As you can see, the enemy Zeno is coming to our God of Destruction right now. See? Now what is he gonna do? He's gonna whack and he's gonna remove our ability to heal from our spot. So if we want to heal, we have to go to all the way back to the other God of Destruction to heal. Now as you progress, you increase levels as many CPUs you fight. And what you really want to do here is, kind of stall it out, If you don't get to attack first, stall it out, wait for the NPCs to respawn. If you get some cheeky hits in, just attack. Just be aware that what you really want to aim for here in these, like, in the beginning here, is really trying to farm up the levels, because it will make a huge difference. Now luckily for us, Zeno appeared, so he couldn't get a heal off. Now in order to use a catch and burst like that, Zeno has to be there and the shield has to be off. Zeno is the only person who basically can take the shield off, unless Android 16 or Nappa show up. Now what are those? There were like mini bosses that show up on the map, and it will even give you an indicator on the top left on the map that like literally tells you, oh, 16's coming. What I just did is a recall. If you're low, go into like a hiding space in the bushes, because you can't be seen by your enemy, so they won't know if you're in there unless unless they actually see you go into the bush. But you do that and then press down for me to recall. You go all the way back to the starting line, full HP, and you can just fly back to your teammate and help out. Again, both teams are trying to level up to get their skills to be as strong as they want, as they can. Now the time will go down, and once time hits 0, you will get pushed off. You don't want to be in there anymore, because once the enemy can come back, two, you will take damage over time, massive amount of damage. Now, as I mentioned before, people like 16 and Nappa can appear. By taking these guys out, you want to have your team to take these people out, because if you have your enemy team, they could be pretty bad. Now what does it mean to be the first, your team be the first to take 16 out? Well, since 16 is done, he'll attack the God of Destruction even though there's not a Zeno on there. He'll just attack it to decrease at least half of his health, which is very good. Very good. It can turn the tides of battles. Now I just picked up some like dumplings off the floor. Now what are those? Every game has a gimmick that will start. Every game has a gimmick that will start with. It randomized 2 gimmicks. Now the gimmicks here are that food health will spawn, which is the dumplings. That's a gimmick that will happen. Another gimmick I think that happens here is that our first attack is already increased, so we don't have to worry about like increasing it twice. So that's fine by us. So in the beginning we were just trying to farm, and now we're really just trying to first to try to bring our enemies down and just get them off. Boom. Now as you saw, it's a Jocko in the middle of the screen of the map, top left in the middle. 2 people will usually show up, Ruibrian and Jocko. What they do is very good, because they bring 2 Zenos. 2 Zenos will go to your God of Destruction with you. So let's say we did defeat Jocko. 2 Zenos will come by and start smacking on the enemy's God of Destruction, making it longer and just making it faster, and giving us a boost on it. See, we destroyed one. The other one, the other dodge destruction will just go. You know, there's 2 Zenos. Boom. The time will take longer, and the circle thing on it, it just gives us a boost. That's all it is. Now, as soon as you take care of all 4 dodge destructions, all you have to do is go to them. Go to that, destroy it, and then just grab the Dragon Ball, and boom, you win the game. Now, there is 3 different types of people you can play in this game, and what I mean by that is you can play technical characters, you can play damage characters, and you can play tank characters. Now, in a game, there's usually 2 damage characters, 1 technical, and 1 tank. Now, which one should you play? You know, that's a big question. Which one should you play? Really, just play somebody who's your liking. You know, sure, some characters are harder to learn than others. Some are really easy. Some are kind of hard because they have unique abilities to their own. Now, what I suggest, if you're playing technical, you can never go wrong with Krillin. That's what I'm playing. That's a technical. What's a technical? A technical is really balanced. They're balanced. You know, they don't have too much health, but they have a moderate amount of health. But what they pick up from that is they move fast. Their movement speed is faster than the other people, and they do pretty good damage. You know, they do damage. Pretty decent. Yeah, you're just all-around character, pretty easy to use. You know, easy to use. Your damage character is self-explanatory. Your damage character, they have a bit more health than the technical character, but they move a bit slower than technical characters. But their damage is way more better than a technical character. But that's not saying that technical characters can do more damage if they want to. But damage characters just do a ton more damage. You know, they're really the people you don't want to get hit by. And then last but not least, tank characters. Tank characters, they move slower than damage and technical characters, but they have more life. They have a bunch more life because they can tank a lot of hits, and their damage is right on there. They can do a lot of damage when they want, but they're usually the people who slow down the enemies and really just like taking stuff for the team, you know. Now, which one should you specifically play? You know, if you want to play a technical character, you probably Krillin. You probably want to choose Krillin because I think he's an easy character to learn. There's not too much of his gameplay you really need to look out for. All you need to do for Krillin, you know. First, his first skill is orbs that he can place. If you max it all the way out, you can set 3 orbs. Boom, an orb is set. Now it won't activate or do anything of the sorts unless an enemy is in there. Then it'll start to like do damage to it and then explode on impact. Then his second one is solar flare, which blinds the enemies, making them not be able to use anything. So they won't be able to use an attack while they got hit by a solar flare. Their third attack is that scatter beam. It's a key blast that goes. You can activate it by pressing X again or the attack button again. It launches up in the sky and blows things up. You know, it scatters. Then the middle one, everyone loves this because it's the ultimate. The ultimate does a bunch of damage and it's very good. And don't see my example. I wasted it. I missed. But it covers a larger range. Now, if you want to play a damage character, I highly recommend you probably play Goku. I know it may sound basic, but you know, to really just get a feel of the game or what it has in store for you, I feel like Goku is just a standard, you know, he's a character. He's not too complicated, but he has a unique ability that some characters have, which is the ability to transform into a Super Saiyan. Well, just to have a transformation. What does that mean? So once you start, you will start in base form. You know, of the people who can transform is Khalifa, Vegeta, Goku, Cell, and Bojack. Those people who can transform, and they're not all in damage, but Goku is. And what will happen? So Goku's in base form until you get to level 7. That's when you can transform into a Super Saiyan, dealing even more damage on top of what you already can do. Now again, Goku, pretty simple, I think. Skill 1 is a Kamehameha. Pretty simple. Just gotta direct it. Each time you kill an enemy and level up, you do have to unlock the skill. Since you do have it automatic, automatic. I do suggest that you have it automatic when starting new, because you don't really want to worry about which one should I unlock first, which one should I upgrade first. So auto, pretty good. You can't go really wrong. Now, Goku, first skill, Kamehameha. Second skill is Kaioken. What this does, it boosts his movement speed, it boosts his damage, and you can boost it onto an attack. What does that mean? So if you fire a Kamehameha, you can even tap the Kaioken and to even boost damage on top of the Kamehameha. Or you can do Kaioken then Kamehameha. His third attack is a smash ground attack, where he just leaps forward and smashes the ground or smashes the enemy or whoever. It's a pretty decently long range one that, if somebody's trying to run away, boom, you can do that. Easily kill them, And his middle one is a Spirit Bomb. Just Spirit Bomb covers the long range as you level it up. Now notice that each attack and ultimate, they won't do nor do what you expect them to do when they're max, Now if you want to play a tank character, again, basic, but Vegeta. You can't really go wrong with the basics, even though they might be basic, and maybe you want to play some other characters, go right ahead, go play them. There's nothing wrong with trying people new, because it really just is a learning experience. But if you want to try somebody who's not that too complicated, not too hard to learn, and somebody you can just pick up on the fly, Vegeta as a tank. His first ability is just Ki Blast. That's Vegeta technique, everybody loves it. But he just fires a bunch of Ki Blasts, and it's pretty good. It goes pretty far. Once you level it up more, it goes even farther. It does even more damage. His second attack will be a mini, I'd say something like a Galaga, like some of a Big Bang attack. Because what it does, you shoot it, and it does a big AoE attack. Even though it's its first skill, once you upgrade it, it still does a pretty big scale of it. There's an AoE drawing in enemies. And that's really all it does. It draws in the enemies, pulling them to the center of the explosion, and just does damage over time. His third attack is Explosive Wave, and it really just it's kind of like the same thing as the second attack. He'll bring a circle, and it'll just push, instead of extracting, pulling the enemies towards the explosion, it'll pull enemies away. Just pull enemies away from you. But it'll still do damage on top of it. It'll just pull enemies away from you. His ultimate is Big Bang Attack. Just Big Bang Attack. There's not too much of a gimmick here to play with Vegeta, but again, he does have the transformation ability, where as soon as you hit level 7, you can transform by hitting just 2 buttons, and boom, you'll be able to transform. And that's all you really need to learn about. As soon as you hop into the game, remember, where are you going on the map? Is it either top or is it bottom? It will say a recommended place for your character, specifically whether you should go top or bottom, but you don't really need to listen to that. But it is highly recommended, but you don't need to listen to that. If you want to go bottom and it says you need to go top, you can go bottom if you want. But you really want to establish that, because if 3 people go on top and only 1 person's going down, then the bottom person has a disadvantage because they're starting off late to race to get levels to defeat the enemies. And just want to really establish. Now everybody has things they can do all the same. What do I mean? is everybody has an attacking attack where you just hold X or hold the attacking button to just do an attack. Everybody can press the vanish button. For me, is circle, but everybody has a vanish button where it's simple. You just vanish. You vanish, leap up a few to do damage. Now there's so much stuff happening on the screen, right? You're like, oh my god, what is that? What is all this, you know? So it is overwhelming, but really you don't need to pay attention to too much. So as soon as you start the game, boom, what do you need to do? You're already just trying to farm, you know, trying to get through these enemies as fast as you can to go into the more in the middle. Now you want to be the first person to attack, and I did explain this, but I'll say it again. You want to be the first one to attack because of Zeno, just, you know, go in there, and if you get the enemy low, they can't heal, so they either have to stick and fight the fight, or they have to go all the way back to heal and then come forward. But by then you probably could get a Kekshin burst out, maybe 2 or 3. And yeah. Now every character, and what I mean by this, by every character, I mean every technical, damage, or even tank character has a little gimmick at the bottom left as my left D-pad for me. And they have these, so they're either boost speed, boost damage, boost attack, or just boost anything, or even be like a Bergamo, which pushes people away. And these things can be very good. They're the little things at the bottom. See, the Kaba, Bubbles, Bergamo. That guy doesn't have anything. Like Kaba, you know, Kaba. He boosts defense as long as people are in that circle. And for me, I have Bubbles. As long as people are in my circle, it boosts movement speed, so they can move faster. But yeah, see, this is all you really want to look out for. So you should start, instantly go for the NPCs. Try to take them out as quickly as possible. You know, that's really all you're trying to look for. Try to take them out as quickly as possible so you can get into this space to try to take out Supreme Kai. Now know that the enemy will try to do the exact same. And if you start on Supreme Kai first, then they do, and they try to, you know, snipe Supreme Kai because they will take the level, then it'll be kind of bad. In this part of the phase, and if you're like wondering, oh, what do I do after I, like, you know, took away the bots and like the enemies are right in front of me, I'm trying to attack, you know? Really, you just have to play the waiting game. You know, it's a defensive type of wait here that you have to play. Because if you're in this situation, just farm the people close to you. Even if you have to go back. You have to go back to farm the people that you already farmed, because the NPCs will respawn. It's okay, because that's really what you're trying to do. And you're also trying to put pressure on your opponent to either make a mistake, either attack, or, you know, probably push back. But, you know, just trying to level up, do all this stuff. Now, there's always indicators saying when a person is going to arrive. That goes with 16 and Nappa. I'll explain again what they do. If you kill 16 or Nappa, all they would do is go to the team. So the team, whoever kills them, will go. They will go to the enemy team that didn't kill them and shoot them for at least half their health, even though Zeno is not there, which is very good. Because if Zeno's there and 16 killed half their life, then all you can do is simply go up to him, boom, Kekshin burst on him, and boom, as you saw, he only took 2 because 16 only took care of the other of half his health. Now don't stay here too long, because the enemies can come back, and as soon as that thing's done, you take damage inside of it. Now if you do finish early and take both the god sections on your side, help the bottom, you know. And if you know, if nobody's there on the bottom, on the top, like attacking right now, the thing you could be doing is leveling up, you know, just attack these NPCs. Now, since, pretty sure that was us who killed Jocko. Well, what Jocko does is simply, he simply brings 2 Xenos, which is very good. 2 Xenos to come whack on the God Destruction, the enemy's God Destruction, to put even more time on it, so we can get in and, you know, do damage. The little circle things that you see is giving us boost. Then boom, as soon as you go that, try to rush with your team to the Dragon Ball, destroy it, and press X. Bang. Not sponsored by the way, I just really love this game.